A boy, frightened and uneasy, confides to his mother that he feels someone is present in his room during the night. Initially skeptical, his mother decides to set up a surveillance camera, and what she finds is nothing short of shocking. In an attempt to shield himself from the monster lurking in the darkness, Christopher Corbin buried himself under the sheets and plugged his ears with his fingers, believing that if he couldn't perceive its presence, it wouldn't be able to harm him. As the days passed, the monster grew increasingly audacious, and Christopher feared that he would soon be snatched from his bed by its fearsome claws and taken to its lair, never to be seen again. The thought of being lost forever filled him with dread, knowing that even his mother would be unable to locate him. Lacey Corbin looked at 7-year-old Christopher worriedly. Her usually boisterous and talkative son was very quiet and picking at the cereals he usually wolfed down for breakfast. "Chris, honey," she said, "what's going on?" "Nothing," Chris said, but from the way he looked away, Lacey knew he wasn't telling her the truth. "Come on, honey," Lacey said gently, sitting down next to Chris and putting her arm around him. "I can tell you're upset. Please tell me what's wrong." Chris looked up at her with tragic eyes. "You won't believe me," he said sadly. "Yes, I will, I promise," Lacey said seriously. "I cross my heart. There's a monster in my room," Chris whispered in her ear. "He lives in my closet, and he walks around at night and comes to the kitchen to eat, but I think one of these days he will eat me." Lacey's first reaction was to laugh, but she saw the dark shadows under her son's frightened eyes. It might be only fantasy, but it was real to Chris. "Okay, honey," Lacey said. "I'll put in a nightlight to frighten the monster." Chris looked happier. "You think that will work?" he asked. "Yes, of course," Lacey said. "Closet monsters melt in the light, you'll see." But the next morning, Chris was as frightened as ever. "Mom, I nearly saw him," Chris cried. "I saw his shadow through the sheets because of the night light. He didn't melt, Mom."
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
"Listen, Chris," Lacey said. "I'm going to catch your monster. Remember that nanny cam Mom got when you were little? The one that looks like a teddy bear?" asked Chris. "Yes," Lacey said. "I'm going to put it in your bedroom tonight, and if anything moves in there, it will film it. We'll catch the monster in the act." Of course, Lacey didn't expect the camera to catch anything, least of all a monster. She just wanted to set her son's mind at ease. The next morning, she sat down to breakfast with Chris and uploaded the cam video. Her mouth fell open. In the black and white video showing Chris' room, the closet door swung open and a smaller figure scuttled out. There was something hiding in Chris' closet. Lacey jumped up and ran upstairs. She opened the closet door and pushed the toy boxes aside. Right in the back, curled up into a ball, was a little boy about Chris' age. He started crying when he saw Lacey, and she gently drew him out. "Hello," she said. "I'm Lacey. Who are you?" "I'm Victor," the boy said in a tremulous voice. "Hey there, Victor," Lacey said. "How about you come down and have breakfast with us? Christopher thought you were the closet monster." Chris was stunned when he saw his mother bring a little boy downstairs, but he was very relieved to discover that Victor wasn't a monster and didn't want to eat him. Victor told Lacey that he'd come to Chris' 7th birthday party 2 weeks before with a friend and had liked the family so much he decided to stay. "But what about your mom?" Lacey asked. "Won't she be worried?" Victor shook his head. "No," he answered. "My mom is dead. My dad married Marga and she doesn't like me. Please don't make me go home." But of course, Lacey was forced to take Victor home. She knew immediately that he was telling the truth when she saw the way his stepmother yanked him inside by the arm. "Stupid boy," she screamed. "No dinner for you." The woman turned a charming smile on Lacey and explained that they had thought Victor was with a friend. But Lacey saw the way the woman dug her nails into Victor's shoulder. She went from Victor's house straight to the police, and in an hour, she was back with 2 officers and a social worker. They caught Victor's parents red-handed mistreating their son. Lacey appealed to the social worker to permit Victor to stay at her house, this time in the spare bedroom. Following the incarceration of his parents, Victor was granted permission to remain with Lacey. Shortly thereafter, Lacey expressed a desire to adopt Victor, who not only became her son, but also Chris' closest companion and brother.